Right now, the Delta variant is spreading fast, but in South Dakota, as hundreds and thousands gathered for the annual Sturgis rally anyway. Well, good morning and welcome to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Taylor Lazenby, and let's get straight to it with our weather this morning with Julian Seawright. Julian, good morning.
Good morning, Taylor. And we are still looking at an alert day to close out our weekend. And on top of that, we do have some flood advisories as well. We'll get to that in just a moment. However, we're going to start off with the alert day. We have strong to severe storms to be possible throughout our afternoon and evening hours for much of southern and even central Wisconsin. Strong winds and hail are looking to be associated with these storms, but we cannot rule out the potential of an isolated tornado. Now, as we take a look, this is what we're going to be doing to prepare ourselves, take action. We are looking at chances of seeing that potential severe weather as we get into our later part of our day. So make sure you have a plan in place as we get things rolling, because we are already seeing some storming conditions into the central areas of Wisconsin, still pushing its way north as we are looking out. But as we take a bigger look at this, we can see this line of storms still starting out throughout much of our morning, which is giving us even still that slight risk for the central and southern areas of Wisconsin, marginal for most of the west. But since we are seeing those storms this morning, we are looking at that flash flood watch to be in effect because of those storms, and they're really moving slow as well this morning. So we'll talk more about this coming up, but over to you, Taylor.
Julian, so going back really quick to weather, so you were here last night when we first really got those alerts, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I came back after the morning to kind of help run things and behind the scenes.
And quickly, just, you know, we are still in an alert day today. What are just some quick things people need to know just to keep safe, just in case?
Well, absolutely. Well, some of the things we'll need to know is that you should make sure that you have your weather radio on. Or anything that would be able to give you any information as quickly as possible is always something to know about. And then on top of that, whenever the storms do hit, especially with heavy rainfall that we saw last night, in many areas, the flooding is what we got to be concerned about. So make sure that you're not driving anywhere. Make sure that you have everything sealed off in case of, because I even saw it last night, a building had flooded and a water pump had broke. So there was literally just nothing but mud and water.
Wow.
Make sure that you're careful because it will be serious.
All
so,
right.
Yeah.
Well, Julian, thank you so much. We really appreciate that information.
Absolutely.
Well, also in South Dakota, COVID cases have spiked now at 68% in days before the Sturgis motorcycle rally began. You can recall just last year the rally was pinned, a super spreader event, but amid such uncomfortable PR, it's hard to find out anyone who thinks the event with an estimated over 500,000 participants.
If you're a biker and you cannot make it down here to Sturgis in your lifetime, you have missed out.
What do they say? There's two kinds of bikers. They're the ones that are already here and the ones that are on their way.
That's it. This is the Mecca, man.
So proudly we hail.
Mecca or not, the 2021 Sturgis 10-day bike rally got underway yesterday, ceremoniously. No mask mandates, no proof of vaccinations needed.
But we're not going to start checking papers. I mean, that's not really an American way.
Daniel Ainsley is the city manager of Sturgis, population 7,000.
Considering the pandemic, what considerations were in mind?
Yeah, no, that's one of the reasons we're looking at an open container.
This year, people can drink on the streets to avoid crowded bars.
Does the COVID thing worry you at all?
No.
No.
I haven't worried about it at all. Not since day one.
Vaccinated, not vaccinated?
Nope. Not vaccinated, not getting vaccinated.
And not getting vaccinated.
Nope.
All right.
The big gatherings, along with county and state fairs, comes as schools are set to reopen. In a few places, parents who are against masks are taking a stand. Yet COVID cases in children are rising. More than 71,000 reported last week. 8 states have banned districts from requiring masks in schools. Yesterday, a judge in Arkansas ruled the ban cannot be enforced. But Illinois and New Jersey became the latest states to mandate masks for K-12 students.
I have to ask, why wouldn't we send our kids to school with a mask on?
Louisiana's governor has good reason to want masks. The state is ranking #1 in the new Delta-driven COVID surge.
We're the #1 state. That's not a distinction we want to have. And quite frankly, it's not even close. The #2 state is Florida.
In Fontana, California, high-tech temperature readers are rapidly checking 2,200 students a day at the high school where Cassandra Hernandez is a senior.
I saw other people getting vaccinated, so I was like, you know what, maybe it's a good idea, especially since we're going back to school.
United Airlines officials announced yesterday vaccines are mandatory for its employees to work indoors or on board. And in the San Francisco Bay Area, according to a survey just released, 43% of companies are mandating employees be vaccinated.
Well, the more than 500,000 bikers that are expected to pack these streets in Sturgis provide a huge economic boom for the state, the region, and this town. There are health considerations to putting on this rally, but the vaccination rate here in South Dakota is right around the national average, and there are currently only 13 COVID-related hospitalizations. Health officials are encouraged by those numbers. Mola Lengi, CBS News, Sturgis, South Dakota.
Well, that was Mola Lengi reporting. And going down to our next story, we are still following a developing story out of this morning out of our nation's capital. The Senate has cleared a key hurdle on the president's bipartisan infrastructure bill, meaning it could get to the House as soon as tomorrow.
3/5 of the senators duly chosen and sworn having voted in the affirmative, the motion is agreed to.
Now, the Senate voted 67 to 27 yesterday, ending a debate on the $1 trillion bill. One more vote needs to happen to send the legislation to the House before it heads to the president for his signature. And President Biden throwing his support behind the bill this morning on Twitter. He called the deal a historic, once-in-a-generation investment in our nation's infrastructure, going on to say we can't afford not to do it. And the FBI is now investigating shots fired at a U.S. border agent from Mexico. U.S. Customs and Border Protection says that shots were fired at one of their agents during a routine patrol in the El Paso, Texas region. The incident happened on Friday, and authorities believe the shots came from the Mexican side of the Rio Grande River. Border Patrol says no one was injured in the gunfire, and the suspects were seen fleeing in a car. It is thought that around 20 rounds were fired towards that agent. And it's been 3.5 years since Ella's Deli closed after more than 40 years in Madison. Many lifelong customers thought that they'd already had their last slice of pound cake or spoonful of sweet and sour cabbage soup. But this weekend, they're in for a treat. Our Christina Laurie explains.
I started my conversation with Ken Balkin the way I always do, asking what he'd like written in the banner underneath his name.
I think it's a current owner of Ella's. I mean, Ella's is closed, but here's all the recipes, and here's a lot of the memories.
Ken and his wife Judy, Ella's longtime owners, are out with a 62-page book filled with recipes, memories, and articles from their 43 years in business.
Sweet and sour cabbage soup was one that was a day that went by that people didn't want the recipe for. So
in it, you'll find classics like Kugel, matzo ball soup, the Balkans crouton recipe, and Ken's favorites.
Actually, all the desserts was a problem for me because I'm not good with that. I like desserts.
Cheesecake, chocolate cake, and Ella's #1 seller, the ice cream sundae with pound cake.
There's no reason for that to all disappear just because we closed.
The response has already been overwhelming. Less than 2 days after the Balkans got their first shipment of cookbooks, they sold out. 400 more books are on the way, ready for customers from California to New York.
Ella's is still alive.
Well, there's no doubt about that. I couldn't let Ken go without one last question.
You said since Ella's is not around right now, is there any chance it could ever come back in any form in the future?
I'm not certain that would be the right thing. I think the way we went out, the way Ella's went out, it was very positive. Let's have Ella's live on in the homes of people, everywhere with these recipes.
Reporting in Madison, Christina Laurie, News 3 Now.
Well, Ella's is also living on in a few other ways. Epic Systems bought its famous carousel and the new development going up in the deli's former location on East Washington is fitfully named Ella's. Well, here's a live look outside as Julian is tracking our Sunday morning forecast. That's all coming up next.
As you remodel, don't toss your cabinets and appliances. Donate to Habitat Restore. Give your items a second life while proceeds build Habitat for Humanity homes. Donate today. Habitat Restore, Dane County.
Managing type 2 diabetes?
On it.
On it.
On it with Jardiance.
They're 22 million prescriptions strong. Meet the people who are managing type 2 diabetes and heart risk with Jardiance.
Jardiance is a once-daily pill that can reduce the risk of cardiovascular death for adults who also have known heart disease, so it can help save your life from a heart attack or stroke. And Jardiance lowers A1C.
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, genital yeast or urinary tract infections, and sudden kidney problems. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. A rare but life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis or have severe kidney problems. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Lower A1C and lower risk of a fatal heart attack? Yep, they're on it with Jardiance. Ask your doctor about Jardiance.
It's Slumberland's anniversary sale, but you get the gifts. Get a complimentary 4-night hotel stay at over 400 great hotels. Plus an extra 20% off when you spend $3,000 or more. You get more nights and more savings the more you spend. Get a 2-night hotel stay plus an extra 10% off when you spend just $1,000. So go ahead, get that new furniture and the trip.
Well, hello, Slumberland.
Buy more, save more, and get the trip. Now at Slumberland.
Your pipes need to loosen up. Your furnace needs to chill out. No more Freon for your AC. You don't need a working ceiling fan. Nothing can stop me from causing problems in your home. Oh no, the homeowner's called Action Man and his action team.
That's right, Pesky. Your problems are plunged.
Call on Action Plumbing, Heating, and Electric at iwantactionnow.com.
Getting your air ducts thoroughly cleaned takes the trained professionals at Stanley Steamer using the most powerful equipment to get the most powerful results. Our equipment goes deep inside your ducts, removing years of dirt, pet hair, allergens, even dust mites. Unlike other air duct cleaning companies, Stanley Steamer cleans your entire system. Just look at how much dirt can be removed. Call today for a free inspection and save $50 on a cleaning.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
In this ad, pay attention to the actor's gums. Gums? We don't think about them. But like skin, over time, gums can get damaged. Colgate Gum Renewal reverses early gum damage for a beautiful, revitalized smile.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Now, as we get things rolling for our Sunday morning, we are going to keep rehashing this. We have an alert day in our forecast for our Sunday. We are expecting some strong to severe storms throughout our afternoon and evening hours. And on top of that, we're looking at strong winds and hail to be associated with these storms and heavy rainfall, which could be causing some flooding in certain areas as well. We also cannot rule out the potential of an isolated tornado. So now that we have this in our alert day and forecast, plan ahead. Make sure you have your weather radio ready to go. Flashlights if you have them, and to secure any kind of loose items, especially with those strong wind gusts. Make sure your devices are charged and ready to go, and you do have any kind of extra water and food in case of emergency. Now, as we're waking up this morning, that line of storms is still sticking into the central and northern areas of Wisconsin, still pushing up. And throughout the rest of this morning, we could potentially still see some scattered showers or maybe even a thunderstorm into southern Wisconsin. Now, we're going to be comparing and contrasting what we're looking at for these storms. Right now, we're looking at our graph model, and this is what we're going to be seeing. We're going to be drying out going into the early afternoon, but then as we get into the evening hours, into southern Wisconsin and into the western areas, we're going to be starting to see some pop-up showers and thunderstorms that would carry into overnight hours, will be one round after another as we go into the night. Now, as we take a look at our HRRR, this is what we're going to be seeing. A potential shower popping up near Watoma as we get into our early afternoon, but we're still clearing out for much of southern Wisconsin. Not a whole lot of activity until we get into about 3:30. Then we're going to be looking up for some more of those pop-up showers and storms into southern Wisconsin, especially impacting Madison. As we get into our evening hours, we could be seeing more of those showers, just more rounds coming in from the south and then carrying into our overnight hours. Those are some things we're going to be keeping an eye on, especially with our rainfall totals. We could be seeing with the heavy rainfall, and if any of these stall for an X amount of time, we could be seeing some flood areas. That's why we have a flash flood watch in effect for the areas into mostly the southern Wisconsin and central regions of Wisconsin until late tonight in case of that heavy rainfall. Now, if you're planning your day, don't expect a whole lot of activity in southern Wisconsin until we get into about the afternoon and evening hours around dinner time. That's when we're going to be looking at more of that severe weather to start to pop up and get ready to go. Now, as we take a look at what we're going to be expecting for the next few days, we are going to be looking at around 80 degrees for our Sunday, and today is our alert day as well. And then as we go throughout the next couple of days, we're looking at temperatures to still sticking around those 80s, a little cooler on Monday because of the stormy-like conditions. But then as we rise into Tuesday and Wednesday, we're still looking at storm chances to stay and remain, especially as we head into those nightly hours. However, temperatures will be hotter, and we are looking at more humidity as well. So heat indexes on Tuesday will be pretty uncomfortable, but the back end of the new week is where we're going to be looking at some much more pleasant conditions into those upper 70s, those lower 80s, not a whole lot of humidity, plenty of sunshine after such a last few days of rain, storms, and more storms, Taylor.
Yes, and Julian, again, if people have any pictures or videos, what's the best way that they can send them in?
Great question. I guess they can just send it to our
tips@channel3000.com.
Well, I learned something new today.
There you go. There you go. Thank you so much, Julian. Well, on Mondays, we'll get just a little bit luckier starting on August 23rd. That's when Powerball is adding a new drawing. The Powerball lottery drawing will go from 2 times a week on Wednesdays and Saturdays to 3 times by adding Monday nights to the bunch. In addition, Powerball is introducing a new game called Double Play. This will give players more chances to win in a separate drawing. Ticket holders will have another chance to match their numbers in Double Play drawings, which has a top cash prize of $10 million. Lottery tickets for the new Monday night drawing will be sold in 45 states, as well as D.C., Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. The Double Play game will be available in 13 states at the start, but Powerball officials believe more will be added soon. And Yelp is helping businesses list their COVID vaccination proof for its customers. The new feature also lets customers know whether all workers are fully vaccinated. Only businesses themselves can add the attributes to their Yelp page. Yelp says they will protect them from reviews that primarily criticize the COVID health safety measures that they enforce, instead of reviewing their actual first-hand experiences with the business. And Apple is preparing to roll out a new software intended to catch child predators in the act. Now, the company says it will work by scanning photos stored on users' devices and then comparing them to a database of illegal images. Apple says if a certain amount of matches are found, the user will be reported for a possible child abuse. The feature will also include an operating system update later this year. And 2 new TV shows plan to send a winner to the International Space Station. Who Wants to Be an Astronaut has a potential backing of Discovery Channel. That show would pit competitors against each other in a series of unknown challenges to determine who is the most fit to go to the ISS. The other show has a major backing that would put up 24 people in a house and then eliminate them one by one until a winner is selected. Right now, there's no guarantee either show would actually be able to launch a winner into space, but if they can, it's unlikely they would be able to also send a film crew there to document their adventure. So even though there is no air in space, don't hold your breath for either one of these shows. Well, the morning's top health stories with a weekly conversation with SSM Health, Dr. Ropa Shaw. That is all coming up next on News 3 Now this Sunday morning. Stay with us.
Join me in the 608 weekdays on News 3 Now this morning.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I've never been more ready in my life.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
At Pick and Save, we take scrutinizing freshness to a whole new level, where only the best of the best of the best will do. But just because you can't get any higher than perfect 10 produce, that doesn't mean that we won't try. Because Pick and Save produce isn't just fresh, it's fresher than fresh. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, helped me pay for my house. Being part-time really helped because I could have some opportunities that were still in education.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Mom's gonna kill us.
Gorilla super glues. Of course.
Gorilla has a fix for every project. Original brush and nozzle and ultra-controlled gel for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Medicine works in a rich body just as well as a poor body. It's as effective in 90210 as it is in 86503. Medicine will not discriminate against the color of your skin. We make medicine. Not just for some, but for everyone.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I've never been more ready in my life.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Welcome back, and we're going to be taking another look at our alert day in our forecast. Now, for today, we are looking at strong to severe storms to be possible, especially into our afternoon and evening hours and into our Sunday nights, transitioning into Monday morning. We're looking at strong winds and hail to be associated with these storms and also heavy rainfall, but we cannot rule out the potential of an isolated tornado to be spinning up from these storms. Now, as we're waking up this morning, we could see those line of storms that start off in central Wisconsin, which brought some flood conditions, still pushing its way and holding together pretty well going into northern Wisconsin. However, for southern Wisconsin, at least we're waking up to dry conditions, but it is muggy and it is cloudy as we get things rolling for us. Now, as we take a look at our severe weather outlook, we do have slight risk for much of central and southern Wisconsin throughout our Sunday, and there's a marginal risk just outside of the yellow as well. So we are looking at all kinds of potential of seeing some severe weather as we go in throughout the rest of our day. On top of that, with the storm conditions, making sure that you guys know we do have a flash flood watch in effect for parts of southern Wisconsin into central Wisconsin as well. This will be in effect until late tonight, and we can already see into the northeastern corridor over by Manitowoc, excuse me. We have a flash flood warning in effect as of right now because of those heavy rainfalls. Now, we could be seeing more of that rain starting to stir up for us as we get into our afternoon hours, especially as we get into around dinner time. We could be seeing more of that rain coming in. So make sure that you are preparing for the storms. Make sure your weather radio is turned on and ready to go. You have flashlights, all your devices are charged, and you have extra water and food in case of any kind of emergency. We'll talk more about this, but we'll toss it back to you, Taylor.
All right, Julian, thank you so much. Well, alcohol is ingrained into the Wisconsin culture, no doubt, but what is it doing for our health? News 3 Now this morning's Chris Stanford and Leah Lenshine join us with a weekly conversation with SSM Health doctors Ropa Shaw.
Many Wisconsinites drink alcohol, at least occasionally.
But what is that doing to our bodies? Dr. Rupa Shah from SSM Health joins us again for our weekly conversation on health. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
So how does alcohol impact our health in general?
So alcohol, you have to remember, is still considered a drug, and it is a central nervous system depressant. So what that means is it basically slows down brain activity. And people that use alcohol in moderate to more severe amounts, we're really going to notice that you're going to notice effects in your mood, behavior, self-control. You can start feeling more depressed. It can cause problems with memory. A lot of times we tend to think of alcohol also just causing liver problems, but in reality, before it causes liver issues, it can start causing heart problems, including elevated blood pressure, which can lead to hypertension and increased heart rate.
New studies also show links to cancer, is that right?
Yeah, so there was a recent study published last month that was among the first to kind of quantify the cancer risk associated with increased alcohol use, and it linked more than 700,000 new cases of cancer worldwide associated with alcohol consumption in some way. So this included cancers like esophageal cancer, oral cancer, mouth, colon, liver, and breast cancer.
Now, aside from the fact that it can be unhealthy, alcohol can actually be dangerous, doctor.
Yeah, so unfortunately, here in Wisconsin, when adults drink, they tend to drink more often and consume more alcohol than adults in other states. So the report has shown that this excessive alcohol consumption has led to more than 2,400 deaths in the state and also 80,000 alcohol-related hospitalizations. So it's tending to cause much more health-related issues than we even realize.
What are some of your top recommendations for someone looking to cut back?
Yeah, so if you're someone who struggles in a serious way with alcohol, I would definitely recommend talking to your primary care physician to get you hooked into some resources to help you cut back. If you're more of a moderate drinker and just need to cut back, I would suggest cutting back by 1 drink a week until you feel comfortable. So if you drink 4 times a week, just try and cut back to 3. And another great way to do this is substitute that drinking time with doing a different activity, such as exercise or picking up some hobby, trying to replace that with some sort of positive activity that's going to actually boost your moods rather than sort of be kind of a central nervous system depressant.
All right, great advice there, Dr. Shaw. And if folks are looking for you on social media for some more advice, where can they find you?
So you can find me on Instagram or Facebook at Wellness with Dr. Shaw.
All right, thanks again. Back to you.
Thank you. Yep.
Well, there's still a half hour of news still ahead here on News 3 Now this Sunday morning. Next, we are running through this morning's top local stories. We'll be right back in a minute with the Packers family night from last night as well.
They say when you come from a small town, you grow up a little different. When U.S. Cellular's founder, Roy Carlson, looked at small towns, he saw nothing but potential. Potential that deserved the best technology. Since the other guys were busy with the biggest cities, well, he'd just have to build a network there himself. Here's the thing. When you create a network as a local, you know the dead spots, so you fix them. You know the neighbors, so you're good to them. Did you drop these? You know the local neighborhood, so you make a difference.
Thanks for the hot spot.
When you go town by town, doing it different, you might even win some awards. You might even want to celebrate. But we're still far from done. You know, it's a good thing we started local. Otherwise, we might not be. A little different. The nationwide network built from your town up. U.S. Cellular.
He has his grandfather's smile.
Her mother's eyes.
My cheekbones.
But will she have my diabetes?
My sickle cell anemia.
His father's heart disease. Go to joinallofus.org to share your health information and speed up health research breakthroughs. The future of health begins with you.
My heart failure diagnosis changed my priorities. I want time for the people I love. My heart doesn't pump enough blood, so my doctor gave me Farxiga. It helps my heart do its job better. Farxiga helps keep me living life and out of the hospital for heart failure.
Do not take if allergic to Farxiga. Symptoms of a serious allergic reaction include rash, swelling, difficulty breathing or swallowing. Stop taking and seek medical help right away. Tell your doctor right away if you have red color in urine or pain while you urinate or a genital area infection, since a rare but serious genital infection may be life-threatening. Do not take Farxiga if you have severe kidney problems or are on dialysis. Other serious side effects include dehydration, sudden kidney problems, genital yeast and bacterial infections in women and men, urinary tract infections, and low blood sugar. Stop taking Farxiga and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of ketoacidosis, which is serious and may lead to death.
Work time with her? Sounds good to me.
If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Back to school. It's not what it used to be.
There are safety concerns, new protocols, all sorts of hurdles to navigate this new school year.
That's why on News 3 Now this morning, we've taken the time to help you find solutions to any problem that may come your way.
From safety in the classroom to helping you set up new routines and plans for school this fall.
So join us each morning starting at 6:30 a.m. for our Back to School report, only on News 3 Now this morning.
Well, good morning and welcome to News 3 Now this Sunday morning. I'm Taylor Lazenby. And right now, the photos from viewers just keep coming in as a 2-inch big hail out west in the Highland. Those storm clouds and stunning sunsets were the aftermath. If you have any pictures or videos that you were able to safely take of yesterday's storm, we would love to see them. You can send those to our newsroom by emailing us at tips@channel3000.com. And up in La Crosse, the area saw the same storms roll there through that area, causing major flooding. With severe weather expected all weekend, forecasters are saying that the area could see up to 3 inches of rain by later tonight. Now, Julian, you've been talking about this pretty much all yesterday, today. You know, this is something we all need to be prepared for.
Absolutely, and especially with those flooding concerns, because we are still looking at that flood watch to be in effect for those areas until late tonight. In addition, we are still looking at that alert data we've been talking about since yesterday, and especially for now, we are looking at strong to severe storms to be possible once again going into our afternoon and evening hours. Strong winds, hail, and heavy rainfall are looking to be associated with these storms, and we cannot rule out the potential of an isolated tornado. Now, as we take a look at what we are seeing this morning, those line of storms into the central and northern areas of Wisconsin are still there, pushing themselves north. As we take a broader look, we can see it is stretching all the way from western Wisconsin all the way into even Michigan as we're waking up this morning. However, southern Wisconsin is looking to be dry. We're looking for some changes as we get into our later parts of today. Now, we do have a slight risk of seeing some severe weather stretching in from northern into southern Wisconsin, and outside of it, we are looking at a marginal risk of seeing some severe weather. Now, in addition, for those areas, especially into La Crosse, Viroqua, Wisconsin Dells, and Juneau, we are looking for flash flood watch to be in effect until late tonight. So that's one thing we're going to have to keep our eye on, especially with that heavy rainfall from any of these storms that come in. Now, in terms of timing, it's still a bit up in the air, but we're looking at chances of seeing some stormy conditions starting to pop up for us around 4 p.m. this afternoon, especially into southern Wisconsin, reaching in from Madison into Wautoma. As we go into the evening parts, we are going to start to still see rounds back and forth and even into the overnight hours. So that's what we're going to be keeping our eye on, especially with that heavy rainfall. And now, as we are talking about it, make sure that you have a plan ahead. Weather radio ready to go, flashlights, and make sure that you're securing your loose items and charging your devices in case of any emergency. Make sure that you have water and food as well, and to be able to tune in to us because we'll be keeping you updated throughout any event. Over to you, Taylor.
All right, Julian, thank you so much. Well, enrollment for the Madison School District is now officially open. You can register your child at the school district's website. Right now, the process is entirely virtual, but if you need help, you can call or email the district's enrollment office during their business hours. We have all of that information up right now on our website. That's at channel3000.com. And the State Department of Health is updating its guidelines for preventing the spread of COVID in the classroom. A main part of the new recommendations is getting eligible kids ages 12 and up, vaccinated. DHS is also launching its testing toolkit program, where more than 300 districts have already signed up. A mask is not required in schools, but the DHS and state superintendent are recommending them. And a look at Wisconsin's COVID numbers for the first time since February. The 7-day average of COVID cases in Wisconsin is topping 1,000. Dane County isn't behind that spike as numbers here are going up. But the latest data from public health shows the 7-day average at 55 cases. Health experts believe that's because the vaccination rate in the county is just under 70%. That is well below the national average, though, right now at 50.
Definitely think that our shield of vaccination protection is very high in Dane County. So I do think that contributes to the level of increase that we're seeing. The levels would be much higher, certainly, if there were fewer people vaccinated.
Well, public health data also shows that 93% of Dane County's newest cases last month were the Delta variant. And new this morning out of Tokyo, the U.S. women's basketball team has won their 7th straight gold medal, beating the Japanese women's national team 90-75 in the gold match. In the 11 Olympic Games the U.S. women's basketball team has participated in, they've only lost just 3. The victory also gives legends as Diana Taurasi and Sue to bird 5 gold medals for the winning team. And Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton just keep adding to their resumes. Just weeks after winning the NBA Finals, becoming the first champions, the duo now says that they are Olympic gold medalists. By now, pretty much everyone knows that the Team USA defeated France. But let's take a quick look as Kevin Durant making all the right decisions in the game, finishing the game there, and Drew Holiday puts up a bow on it with just 5 minutes left. Now, if you love a great stat, this one is pretty special. Holiday and Chris Middleton are the first set of teammates to win a title and gold medal in the same year since Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen did that back in 1992. And a rough way to get out for the Brewers last night. Check this out as Avisal Garcia lost the ball in the air of what would have been the last out of the game. In extras after the Giants took a lead, Milwaukee marched back with 2 homers. But it still wouldn't be enough for the Brewers. They would go on to lose 9-6 in the 11th innings. The end of that series is this afternoon, and that first pitch starts at 1:10. And this week saw the first football game of the season and also an introduction into the latest Hall of Fame classes, including Packers legend Charles Woodson. Woodson caught 65 interceptions in his 18-year career. During his 7 seasons with the Packers, he won Defensive Player of the Year and his only Super Bowl ring. He will be officially inducted into the Hall of Fame later on this evening. And the weather impacts left an impact for the Packers' return to Lambeau Field. The start of family night had to be pushed back because of the storms over in the Fox Valley. But, of course, it didn't stop fans from celebrating the green and gold. As our Adam Duxter explains why this year's event meant much more to those faithful fans.
Well, the weather isn't the greatest, and it's technically not even a real game, but the football is back, and so are the fans here at Lambeau Field, and that alone is enough reason for celebration here in Green Bay.
The sizzle of the grill and the drop of the bag all mean one thing.
Rain, shine, it doesn't matter. Football is back. We missed football during COVID and stuff, so family night is an opportunity to get together with fans and enjoy football again, and that's a big deal.
Tonight's practice is about celebrating family, and for fans of the green and gold, that goes deeper than blood.
We're here to hang out.
It's just that camaraderie.
Oh, it's just awesome. It's insane, but it's just a great community that we have here.
And the start of this season marks a sigh of relief even for the youngest of fans.
Who's your favorite player on the Packers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Were you afraid he was going to go to another team?
Yes.
Ultimately, the score tonight won't count for anything. But for the thousands in attendance,
make sure you have seen it.
Being back together is a win in itself.
I think it's the Midwest culture. I think you're Midwest, you appreciate spending time with people that just want to hang out and have common likenesses. We don't have to agree. Maybe some of us disagree. We're all going to have fun, though.
Adam Duxter, News 3 Now.
Well, fans did have to take shelter in the concourse before the start of the event, but not for long. They were back in their seats within a half an hour of the start time. Well, coming up next here on News 3, NASA is looking for your help as they prepare for what it would be like if you could live out on Mars. And in just a little bit, we'll take a look at the latest out of Tokyo as the games, they enter their last week. Stick around.
At Pick and Save, every free pickup order is picked fresh and packed with care, or we'll make it right. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Don't just clean it. Clean it. OxyClean Laundry and Home Sanitizer kills 99.9% of bacteria and viruses. And that feels... OxyClean Laundry and Home Sanitizer also kills the virus that causes COVID-19.
One call, that's all. It means a lot.
One call, that's all. That means they gonna take care of business, man.
Just what it says. One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
It's a one call, that's all.
One call, and that's all.
One call, that's all. I didn't believe, but now I do. One call is all it takes.
One call, that's all. That's all it took. And I thank them.
If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
For a job you'll love, well, you gotta get down. Mounds Pet Food Warehouse. Every day you'll get to help so many pets in town. Mounds Pet Food Warehouse. We've been here 50 don't forget the free Mounds candy bars.
Is your credit score getting in the way of the things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit offer fast and flexible lending. Borrow up to $10,000 and choose repayment terms that work for you. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
Are your taste buds ready for Madison Magazine's Summer Taste Tour? Starting August 1st through the 21st, tour the city of Madison to restaurants, breweries, distilleries, and wineries to sample and participate in Madison Magazine's scavenger hunt. Visit madisonmagazine.com for a map of participating businesses and scavenger hunt details. Madison Magazine Summer Taste Tour, August 1st to the 21st. Taste the goodness. Sponsored by Schuster's Farm. Come out for Blooms and Butterflies starting August 6th. Live music, beer, wine, and taco cart. Visit schustersfarm.com for tickets.
Medicine works in a rich body just as well as a poor body. It's as effective in 90210 as it is in 86503. Medicine will not discriminate against the color of your skin. We make medicine. Not just for some, but for everyone.
Delivery is always fresh because we check our produce at every stop on its journey to you. We're fresh every day, so shop any way. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Welcome back, and we're going to take another look at our alert day for today. We are looking at severe thunderstorms to be a possibility and some strong storms as well throughout our afternoon and evening hours. And with these storms, we could be seeing strong winds and hail to be with those associated with those storms. An isolated tornado cannot be withheld as well. However, we do have a flash flood watch in effect for much of the central and even northern areas of Wisconsin because of that heavy rainfall. So that's something we're going to be keeping our eye on once these storms do pop up. We are waking up this morning, however, to be seeing that line of storms still holding themselves together but really impacting northern Wisconsin. Some of those areas are already looking at flash flood warnings. Luckily for us in the south, we are looking at dry conditions, but it is muggy and it is humid and it is very, very cloudy. But we'll talk more about this coming up. Let's toss it over back to you, Taylor.
All right, Julian, thank you so much. For more in our local news, a local activist group are joining together to demand justice for a Madison man, Jimmy Joshua.
He doesn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that. And just knowing what has been going on in America lately, it could have been way worse.
The activists say that back in December, Joshua was attacked by 3 deputies while being held in a Dane County jail. They say he suffered multiple injuries, including a broken pelvis, a dislocated hip, and a broken knee, before he was taken to an isolated cell and left alone for 15 hours. At a news conference yesterday, activists say that Joshua's injuries demanded surgery requiring a metal plate and 8 screws to be put in his hip so he could be put back together. The Dane County Sheriff's Office has not returned a request for a comment right now. Online records show that Joshua is being held on charges of battery, domestic abuse, and false imprisonment. And NASA is looking for a few good men and women to help them simulate a mission to Mars. The space agency is looking for healthy, motivated, non-smoking U.S. citizens between the ages of 30 and 55, not unlike your typical astronaut candidates. But this is not an actual mission into outer space, though. Instead, the crew and health and performance exploration analog will have 4-person teams living in a 1,700-foot module for a year. And in place of the Red Planet, the Mars Dune Alpha modules will be parked at the Johnson Space Center in Houston. Participants will do science experiments, practice communications with Earth, and even simulate a spacewalk. Now, NASA hopes the lessons learned will prepare for real-life challenges posed by future missions to Mars. And you're taking a live look outside this morning. Julian will be back with a look of our forecast for our work week ahead. That's next on News 3 Now this Sunday morning. But first, if you have a little one that is turning 3 soon, we would love to celebrate them.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by 3 Bears Resort Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
At Toyota's national sales event, we don't just help you get the perfect vehicle. We're here to open new doors. that lead to your road to greatness. Your journey starts at Toyota's National Sales Event.
Right now, you can get 2.49% APR financing for 60 months, plus $750 TFS APR cash on a new 2021 Camry, RAV4, or Highlander. Toyota. Let's go places.
They say when you come from a small town, you grow up a little different. When U.S. Cellular's founder, Roy Carlson, looked at small towns, he saw nothing but potential. Potential that deserved the best technology. Since the other guys were busy with the biggest cities, well, he'd just have to build a network there himself. Here's the thing. When you create a network as a local, you know the dead spots, so you fix them. You know the neighbors, so you're good to them. Did you drop these? You know the local neighborhood, so you make a difference.
Thanks for the hot spot.
When you go town by town, doing it different, you might even win some awards. You might even want to celebrate. But we're still far from done. You know, it's a good thing we started local. Otherwise, we might not be. A little different. The nationwide network built from your town up. U.S. Cellular.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers, and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
We were gonna stuff Reese's cups with feathers, and then we were like, wait a minute, pretzels. Yeah, pretzels would be way better. Reese's, now stuffed with pretzels.
Reynolds Wrap makes it easy to cook and clean up meals in no time. So I didn't miss all the fun stuff.
Easy prep, cook, and clean with Reynolds Wrap.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Now let's get things rolling for us on our alert day. Things we'll need to know. We're looking at strong to severe storms to be possible for today. Strong winds and hail look to be associated with these storms. Heavy rain as well, which could be popping up some flash flood for certain areas, and we cannot rule out the potential of seeing an isolated tornado. Now, things we'll need to do to prepare for these storms. Plan ahead. Make sure that you have your weather radio ready to go. Flashlights, secure your loose items because of those strong winds, and make sure you have charged devices and any extra water and food in case of any emergency. Now, as we get things rolling for our morning, we're going to be checking out our radar. We see those storms that were popping up throughout our early morning hours, and they are still that strong line of storms that are pushing their way into northern Wisconsin. For some of those areas, we are looking at some flash flooding as we go throughout, and that's what we're going to be keeping our eye on for those areas, especially into southern Wisconsin as we get into the stormy conditions when those storms pop up. We're looking at a slight risk of seeing some severe weather into southern, central, and northern Wisconsin throughout the course of today, with marginal risk into the western half as we go throughout. Now, the timing is still something we're going to be keeping our eye on, but we're looking at potentially seeing some showers and storms starting to pop up into southern Wisconsin as we get into about 1 p.m. But then we're looking at some heavier storms to roll in, especially into Madison, the Dells, and Wautoma as we get into the late afternoon hours. Going into the evening, so we're going to start to see more rounds starting to pop up, coming in from the south, impacting much of southern and eastern Wisconsin. And then we're going to be looking at those rounds to still stick around for us throughout the night and even into the overnight hours, transitioning into our Monday morning as a potential. Now, don't hold on to any of these rain totals, but here's a potential what we could be seeing as we go into Monday night. We're still looking at chances of seeing some storms going into Monday, and with it for certain areas, especially into the north and into the west, especially for La Crosse, we could be seeing some pretty heavy rainfall, which would be prompting some flash floods. And that's why we have a flash flood watch in effect until late tonight for all these areas into that light shade of green, and because of that heavy rain potential. Now, as we're going to be planning our day, we're not looking for a whole lot of activity in southern Wisconsin into the morning hours or the early afternoon. But once we get into the late afternoon hours into the evening, that's when we're going to be starting to see those temperatures start to drop and also more of that rainfall and stormy conditions popping up for us. So that's something to keep an eye on, but we're also going to be keeping an eye on the first half of this week. The new work week, we're looking at those storm conditions to be the theme for the first half. Warmer temperatures will come in for Tuesday and Wednesday with humidity as well. But then in the back half, looking for those temperatures to start to dwindle a bit. The rain chances will as well. Plenty of more sunshine. So it looks like we're going to look at the light at the end of the tunnel here, Taylor.
I'm looking forward to Saturday, Sunday, and maybe a sliver of Monday. There
Absolutely.
you go.
Yeah, that looks comfortable for me. I like that.
All right. Thank you so much, Julian. Well, it's been another medal-winning night for Team USA at the Olympics in Tokyo. The team haul is now over 100 Olympic medals, as Jamie Yukas explains the latest.
The USA men's basketball team did it. After an embarrassing loss in the first game to France, they were able to beat them in the game that counted and win the gold.
From the coaches to the trainers to the players, we all came in with that goal of let's finish this thing off.
And it's a three-peat for the women's water polo team. Team USA beat Spain to win the gold. They're the only team to medal in every Olympics since the sport was introduced in 2000. This gold medal celebration was almost as exciting as the wrestling win itself. Gable Stevenson taking down his opponent in just the last few moments of the match. The 400-meter bronze win for Allison Felix, her 10th, making her the most medaled female track athlete in Olympic history.
I know I wouldn't be here, without those who paved the way. And just grateful for my own journey. I love the sport, and it's been so good to me, and I've grown up in it. And so, yeah, it's very, very special to be 35 and to still be doing what I love.
Felix started in Athens in 2004 and has earned medals in every summer game since then. Tom Shad writes for USA Today.
I think the incredible thing about Allison Felix is just her longevity and her ability to adapt. She's been in the sport for so long, but she has never been somebody who's just kind of stuck around on the fringes. I mean, she has been competitive in medal contention for the entirety of her career.
Alex Kleinman is a newcomer to her sport, starting beach volleyball just 4 years ago. But she and veteran April Ross, dubbed the A-Team, won gold in a 2-set match against Australia.
One of 2 captains for the U.S. track and field team in Tokyo, Kara Winger, has been chosen as the U.S. flag bearer for the closing ceremony, which is Sunday night. Jamie Yukas, CBS News, Tokyo.
Well, make News 3 part of your weekly routine by downloading our Channel 3000 app for the latest headlines and weather conditions 24/7. We'll be right back.
You've heard that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but you still need to see your dentist because getting good dental care is important to your overall health. You know dental bills can take a big bite out of your budget, especially if you're retired or on Medicare. Even a simple cleaning can cost $200. And other procedures like crowns and root canals can cost hundreds, even thousands more. But affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company can help. Give us a call or go online for this free information kit with all the details. This isn't just a discount plan. This is real dental insurance that can help pay for over 350 covered procedures like cleanings, fillings, crowns, even dentures. There are no deductibles, no annual maximum, and you can see any dentist you like. So don't wait. Call now or go online for your free information kit from Physicians Mutual.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Looking for the best brands, the best selection, all at the best prices? Then Denver Mattress has you covered. And during the 4-day super sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the Summit Firm, now only $299.99. Or purchase a Tempur-Pedic and get a free $300 gift, plus 6 years no interest financing and free shipping right to your door. Shop the best of the best at the best prices. Only at Denver Mattress. The easiest way to get the right mattress.
Medicine works in a rich body just as well as a poor body. It's as effective in 90210 as it is in 86503. Medicine will not discriminate against the color of your skin. We make medicine. Not just for some, but for everyone.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
In this ad, pay attention to the actor's gums. Gums? We don't think about them. But like skin, over time, gums can get damaged. Colgate Gum Renewal reverses early gum damage for a beautiful, revitalized smile.
News 3 now, and the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County are collecting school supplies for area students.
Please help us by donating at the Boys and Girls Club locations or the News 3 Now studios. Visit channel3000.com for details, then donate.
A News 3 Now investigation uncovered hundreds of workplace safety complaints during the pandemic.
Just 12% were followed up with an inspection.
Too many frontline workers were exposed to COVID.
Taking action to get the information you deserve. News 3 Now investigates.
Well, officials are still looking for a venomous exotic snake that's missing in a Texas community. But don't worry, though, it already has its own Twitter account. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Authorities in Texas are on the lookout for an escaped venomous snake that's gone missing near Fort Worth. The owner in Grand Prairie had a permit for this West African banded cobra, but police say he recently reported it missing from its enclosure. Authorities are asking locals to be on the lookout, but not be heroes. The 6-foot cobra is venomous, and its bite can be deadly. But of course, that hasn't stopped Twitter users from having fun with the whole thing. A recent account called Grand Prairie Cobra started tweeting pretend messages from, quote, a cobra just visiting and seeing the sights. For authorities, it's no laughing matter. They're urging locals with info to call 911. But for those at a safe distance, this faux first serpent account will keep you in hysterics. On first glance, this cave lion cub might look like it's just sleeping, but in fact, it's a more than 28,000-year-old specimen found nearly perfectly preserved in ice. The cub was one of 2 found in permafrost by mammoth tusk hunters in Russia's Siberian Arctic. The cub, nicknamed Sparta, is so remarkably well preserved that scientists say its matted fur is undamaged and its claws are still sharp. Evidence suggests the cub died suddenly and scientists believe likely not at the hands of a predator. The next step will be DNA tests, which could reveal a treasure trove of cave lion genetic info. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
And we're going to take another look at our weather as we close things out for us this Sunday morning. We do have the alert data is in effect for us, and we have these strong to severe storms that are possible as we go throughout our Sunday. Strong winds, hail, heavy rain, and isolated tornadoes are the impacts, but the strong winds and hail and heavy rain will be more prominent with a slight chance, or even just we can't rule out the chance of seeing an isolated tornado with any of these storms. Now, with the heavy rainfall as a potential with these storms, we're having a flash flood watch in effect until later tonight. And in addition, as we take a look at the new work week, we are looking for things to start to switch up a little bit. After we get into the first half, we're looking at warmer temperatures, storm conditions, and humidity, but then the back end, we're looking at cooler temperatures and a lot more sunshine, Taylor.
All right, and again, of course, if you have any pictures or videos of the storm, you can make sure to email those to us at tips@channel3000.com. That is going to do it for Julie and I this morning. We will see you guys next weekend.